Welcome to the Safeguard tutorial on creating your emails. Today what we're going to talk about is using your media library, uploading your mailing lists, and creating your emails. The first thing you want to do is go under your media library by going under Tools and clicking Library. This will pull up the existing images that are stored. If you need to upload your images from your desktop, over on the left you'll see Upload Images. You can browse your hard drive and upload any JPEG or GIF file that you want. When you click Done, it'll add it right to your media library. If you don't have images and you want to search an image gallery, we have the image gallery also on the left. By clicking on this, it brings up our integration with Photos.com, which has 75,000 royalty-free stock images. You can easily search for whichever category you want, or you can click on one of the pre-designated categories. To add the image to your library, click on the size you want. Chances are for email you're going to go for the small one. Here you'll see it added it to the library. If you need to make changes or edit that image, you can click on the pencil and it'll open up our integration with Pixlr. Here you can choose adjustment and you can choose to either crop, resize. You even have effects, overlay, borders. When you're done editing your image, click Save, and that'll bring it back to the library. You have the option to either override the existing image or save it as a new one. Once you have all your images in your library, it's time to upload your lists. If you highlight Lists and click New, it'll take you to the Terms and Service. The Terms of Service say that you're not going to use any purchased lists and that everybody who receives the email knows who you are and has agreed to give you permission to email them. First thing you're going to do is name your lists. If you're doing newsletters, you may want to name it the name of the month that your newsletter is going out. This is going to be something internal, not customer facing, so you're going to be able to identify which email it is. You have three options. If you only have a couple of members, you can add them one member at a time. Most of the time you're going to use an external list which can upload either a CSV or a TXT file. You also have the option to create a new list by importing them from Google Contacts, Hotmail, or Yahoo. For today's demo, we're going to choose a CSV file that's on the hard drive. Select the list you want, click Open, and then click Next. The next page brings you to our mapping fields. It's going to try to map everything that it can based on your list. If you do need to add a custom field, say you have information that isn't generated, you can choose Custom Field from the drop-down menu. You can give it a field name. When you're done creating your lists, you click Next, and your list will be uploaded. The next page is going to give you a breakdown of everything that happened when you uploaded your mailing list. It'll tell you how many records were added to the list, how many total records were updated, and it'll give you a breakdown if any of the records were rejected. It also gives you a link to download the CSV file of the rejected items so you can take a look at them and make the corrections and re-upload them. It also gives you a brief idea of why those items were rejected. Generally, you're going to see duplicate records, you'll see improperly formatted, or you'll see ones that have previously unsubscribed. Then you can either view the list members or you can add another list to the same list. If you click on the List option, it'll give you the lists that are in your account. It'll tell you a breakdown of how many people are in there, when it was created, and if it was ever mailed. Now we're going to go ahead and create a quick email. If you highlight Emails and click New, the first page it brings you to is our setup page. Here you're going to go ahead and name the email, and generally it's going to match up with your mailing list. You're going to give it a From label, and then you're going to give it a subject line. For the best results, you want to keep your subject line below 40 to 50 characters. You also want to make your subject line relevant to the email that you're going to be sending. You want to entice them to open the email. So you want to make it something like save 15% on your next purchase, or basically something that's going to encourage them to look at your email, click on links, because what they want to do is get in there and actually engage with the content you're sending. We automatically update the unsubscribe, so if somebody wants to unsubscribe, they can do so by clicking the link. The postal address also pulls from your account page. You can also change this from this page here, and you can add your postal address. The postal address needs to be on there to comply with the CAN-SPAM laws. Finally, your reply to email address. When somebody receives your email and they want to respond, they hit the reply button. This is the email address that it's going to go to. Once you have the setup done, you can click Next, and this brings you to the choice of editors. The email wizard is for somebody who doesn't have a lot of design experience. It's a drag and drop, and you have a lot of different templates available. The email canvas does a little bit more. It allows you to either create your own template. It allows you to access the HTML code. It gives you a lot more modifications options. If you have freeform HTML that you've created from an external source, maybe you have a web designer available that writes HTML code, the freeform HTML is specifically for HTML only. It doesn't have a graphical editor that allows you to edit it graphically like the email canvas does. Text only is generally for transactional type emails. For today's demo, I'm going to go ahead and select the email canvas. We're going to go ahead and click Next, and it's going to bring you to a blank canvas page. On the top, you'll see Select Template. Here we have over 750 templates that you can choose from. When you find the template that you want, click on Select Template, and this is going to load the template for editing. If you have a logo, you can add the logo in. You can update all of this text to say what you like it to say. The first thing I'm going to actually show you is how to highlight and change the font. If you've got some design experience, you probably know about bold, italicize, underline, and strike through. You can also control the different style of font as well as the size. You also have your indents, you have your alignments, and the next thing I want to show you is the images. Let's say you want to add the image to the logo area here. We'll go ahead and remove the text from that area. We're going to go ahead and click on Image, and you have three options. You can upload it from your computer, from the library where we added the images earlier, or if you have a URL to that image, you can use that as well. We're going to go ahead and choose the image we added from the library here. By clicking on the image, it adds the image to the email. Now it's time to actually use the settings. It gives you the dimensions of the image itself, and over on the right it gives you a preview. You can control the alignment of the image by going right, left, center, and it shows you what the text looks like next to that image. If you notice that the text is right up against the image, you can change the spacing of that text against the image by controlling the spacing. We recommend alt text being something to identify that image. Short little words that will actually explain what the image is. And then click Save. That will add it right to your email. As you notice, the image is way too large for what we want. We're going to click on the image, grab a corner, and we're going to drag that sizing. You can also drag it to a different section of the email if you wanted to add it to a different part. This allows you to get the perfect email. The next thing I want to do is show you how to create a hyperlink. Sometimes you want to direct them to your website, and you want to put in here, click here to go to my website. We're going to highlight click here because that's what we want to make into the hyperlink. We're going to click the little chain link icon, and we're going to add the link that goes to. When you click OK, you'll see now it looks like a hyperlink. You can also do the same thing with buttons. If you're looking to track the clicks, your best bet is to do a hyperlink for as much as you can to different sites. That way you can see which ones are being clicked on more, even if it's the same URL that you're using. Finally, I want to show you the insert option. If you want to personalize your email, say you have the person's first name in your mailing list, then you may want to personalize it to say, "Hi Desmond, hi Mary, hi Joe." You can go ahead and click on the drop-down for the insert option and choose the first name. You can also personalize it with custom fields that you have in your list, not just the first name. The box that pops up asks you to enter a default value. So let's say you don't have the first name in every contact, but you have most of them. Those ones that don't have the first name, you don't want it to be blank, so you want to personalize it still. Here you can do Hi Customer. When you click the Insert button, for all the ones that have a first name listed, it'll insert the first name. For those that don't, it'll insert Customer instead. You'll also notice that you have a tab here for the HTML code. So if you do know a little bit of HTML code, you can come in here and modify it. If you don't know a lot about HTML, we don't recommend going in here. Finally, you have the text version. The text version will pull from the HTML as much as possible, but sometimes it doesn't always look right. If you uncheck the box that says Generate Text Version Automatically, you can modify this as well. This way, those who don't receive the HTML version, which is less than 2%, they can actually get the text version, which is going to look the way you want it to. Finally, you have Quick Preview. This is going to show you what the email will look like when you send it out. When you're done making all of your changes and editing the email the way you want it, you can go ahead and either save it for later, or you can click the next step. The next step takes you to the preview page. It shows you what it's going to look like in the email again. You're also going to preview the text, and this is your approval that says it looks the way you want it. On the very bottom, you'll see your list that you want to send it to. You want to do a launch to test it to email clients. This doesn't send it out to your customers. Once you've done that, this page is done. It tells you that each step is done. 1, 2, 3. And you can go on to the next step. Once everything looks great in your email, great in a website, here's where you're going to actually select the list that we uploaded earlier. Select the list you want to use, click Next. It defaults to go out as soon as possible, but it's always best to set it to launch in the future, so you can change the day and time if you want. You can use the little calendar to set it for Saturday if you want, or you can change it individually. You can link it up to your business's Facebook or Twitter account. If you have Google Analytics, you can link it up to your Google Analytics account. And then at the bottom, it gives you a summary. It tells you how many are on the list, how many it's going to be sent to. It'll tell you how many credits you have left, and it'll tell you how many you'll have after you send the email. Simply click on Send Email, and that email will launch. And you're all done. We appreciate you watching the video, and if you need help, give us a call. Thank you.